Before venturing outside to the cold winter wind, a proper Edwardian lady simply must have a hat. Drawing inspiration from Edwardian fashion guides, I set out to create a hat that was warm, stylish, and true to the era. I am trying to figure out many things at the moment. This collar is still unattached, but I just needed a little bit of a break, and hats are fun, so I wanted to at least figure out the basic shape of this hat. This is still kind of what I want. So very wide black hat, lots of floof on top, but in general fairly simple. But I am definitely thinking of doing kind of like this sort of thing, just a little bit of a on either side, because you can see it's a little wobbly, it's not straight across, and that was on purpose. So let me just show you for reference my other hat next to this hair, so we can kind of get an idea of why this hat is not good enough. Okay, so this was the first hat that I made way back about a year ago actually, and I do still love it. I still think it kind of looks like a still life painting. However, it's not really enough, right? It's kind of a plate on top of my head that doesn't really have anything to it. It's more of like a decorative wall ornament at this point. And for the final video, I actually ended up just like doing a French twist because this hat was just not big enough. However, I think in general, width-wise, if we go like this, it's almost right, as long as I can get it a little further down on my head. So I definitely want to have a bigger crown than this. I want to have a crown that actually sits onto my head a little bit. I started by drafting the pattern using guidance from Practical Home Millinery. I mean, I don't know. It's so hard to tell because I feel like in this era, there's either like huge, like bulky hats, or there's like flat. There's so many kinds of hats in this era, and yet I can't find decent pictures or information about what was actually worn, you know? So it's very difficult, but this looks decent. And this is just a vague idea, but I kind of like the big dramatic look, right? So we got something kind of like this, which I took a dart out on this side. I'm going to flip up this side, and I might make it a little smaller. This might be a little too big. With my pattern ready, I cut the brim out of thick black felt, then added 16 gauge wire along the outer edge to provide structure and shape. Next, I assembled the side band and crown, covering the crown in soft black velvet for a rich, elegant texture. To stabilize the side band, I added buckram underneath the velvet, carefully ironing with minimal pressure and extra velvet support to protect the pile. For the brim, I repeated the process, cutting buckram, adding velvet, and folding the outer edge over the wire for a clean finish. Okay, we are getting so close to being done with this hat. I am so excited. It is so cute. I kind of want to make myself like a black velvet pillbox hat for like 40s and 50s because this is honestly adorable as is. We have the crown here. You can still see the wire on the inside, but I'm going to have a lining for that, so that's not going to be a problem. And I have the brim right here, which I ended up doing a layer of felt, and then I ironed on the fusible buckram to the outer layer of velvet. And then today, what I did was I used some cotton that I had as kind of the lining for the inner layer of velvet, just to kind of hopefully stabilize it a little bit because it's kind of all over the place. And I've gone around and pinned it in place, and I'm fully expecting for this layer of velvet to just not be perfect, to have a few creases and things in it. That's fine, I'm not worried about that. I just want to get this edge to look nice, and if you can do that, then I'll be happy. But let's just try this on real quick. There shouldn't really be any pins or sharp points where my head's gonna be, so let's just try this. I'm honestly kind of obsessed with this. It is super duper cute. I think it covers enough of my head for it to feel kind of warm, and I can have it be more dramatic if I want, like more like that, or I can have it a little more straight on. I can have it be more up if I want to be able to see my face, or if I'm wanting to protect it from the sun and or elements like that. What do you think?
It looks so pretty. It's finished.
Almost. It's almost finished. See, the top still comes off.
That one. Here.
Be careful, be careful. There's still pins on the edges.
Here. Here we go.
Oh, I'll have this part? Okay.
What we look like. What do we look like?
Very silly, I think.
Here.
Careful, careful, careful.
How about you kid?
You want to switch?
You can have the big one and I can have this one. What do we look like when we switched?
I don't know. What do we look like?
Maybe we look like party silly hats?
Party silly hats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I added velvet to the underside of the brim, carefully folding and stitching the edges to secure everything in place. With that done, it was time to attach the crown and brim together. It was finally starting to look like a proper hat. For the finishing touches, I played around with various ideas, creating ribbon roses, stitching together a fancy bow, and adding some gray, fluffy faux grass to mimic feathers. I am really happy with how this hat came together. The velvet feels rich and luxurious, and the details give it just the right amount of Edwardian flair. With this final piece complete, my Edwardian Winter Ensemble is ready to go. If you'd like to see how the entire outfit was made, I'll link the full playlist in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.